Hi, I'm Alice, and today I want to address the issue of your child not wanting to do any writing. There's a lot of children who hate writing and they just don't want to cooperate when it's time to sit down and do some writing. So what do? Well, every child is different. So you really need to understand what the obstacles are for your child. I think in most cases, when the child is reluctant to write, it's because A, they're not ready to start writing, and B, there's too much pressure being put on them. So I would say take a step back and remove all the pressure that is involved in getting your child to write. So remove the pressure of having to follow the curriculum, remove the pressure of having to pass some kind of test or exam, remove the pressure that you're putting on your child because you feel they're behind and they need to be doing this and they have to just hurry up and do it because, oh my goodness, what's going to happen if it gets to the end of the year and they still, they're still not writing as much as you feel they should. You have to get rid of all of that because this is going to be creating stress and pressure, and that doesn't help you, and it definitely doesn't help your child learn to write or want to write. I suggest, depending on how old your child is, that you start with copywriting. So that would be your child is just copying from a book, okay? A lot of times, if the children aren't familiar with the mechanics of writing, then the thought of having to write something themselves, some sort of creative writing, it's just too much for them. So they need to become familiar with just the actual act of writing and the mechanics of writing. And a great way to do that is to do copy work. Pull out a book that they love, or even a magazine. It can be anything really that the child is interested in. Perhaps it's funny, perhaps a funny poem, or just a few lines from one of their favourite books, and get them to copy it down. It can even be, for example, something interesting from a book about volcanoes from the library, if they're into volcanoes or dinosaurs or whatever it is they're into. Get them to write about that and maybe do a picture. And you'll probably find that they're a lot more willing to do that. If they then get into the habit of doing a little bit of writing like that every day, they're no longer afraid of you coming at them with all these, what they feel are unreasonable demands. Then eventually you can approach the subject of writing from a more relaxed perspective and suggest that on this day, instead of the usual copy work, you do something else. But take it in stages. Don't expect them to go from being a reluctant writer and hardly doing anything to doing, 3 paragraphs. There shouldn't be all this pressure on them. Otherwise, they may as well be in school, really. So just relax.